Rothschild mansion, creepy halls behind every door, a cloaked body. Don't you know this is Illuminati? That we put the naughty in Illuminati. We expose the hot bodies of Illuminati. That we put the naughty in Illuminati. Mind control of your soul, of that body. Yeah.
Are you ready to reveal all there is to see? Esoteric secrets revealed in all of their glory. The Illuminati series from Paranoid American. Putting the naughty in Illuminati. More details at paranoidamerican.com.
Hi, we're not here yet. This is just a sound check.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm trying to share the link to everybody.
All right, take your time. I'll play
Okay.
some Tom Hanks plasma bag.
Tom Hanks plasma bag. Tom Hanks plasma bag. Tom Hanks plasma bag. Tom Hanks plasma bag. Tom Hanks plasma bag. Just one loose and a hanging shot. Just at it, he calls him back. But on the same typewriter, can't be that. Lost gloves, missing shoes, mazes and monsters, dragnet, turning fools. He's that man with the one-man shoe. Tom Hanks passed the bag. Just one loose and a hanging shot. Just at it, he calls him back. But on the same typewriter, can't be that. Angels and demons, which one are you? You lady killer, that thing you do. Pictures of missing gloves and lost shoes. What's up with all the gloves and shoes? Tom Hanks plasma bag. Just one loose and a hanging shot. Just at it, he calls him back. But on the same typewriter, can't be that. That's right, it's Tom Hanks plasma bag. Plasma bag. No too small, loose and a hanging shot. Just at it, he calls him back. Come on, you bring the magic staff, and I'll bring the sin. Nobody knows about the trouble we're in. Come on, let's make some Nephilix.
It's the Nephilim Portal Baby playset. Comes with a fallen angel, Nephilim baby, and portal to another dimension. One of the Paranoid American playsets. Collect them all at paranoidamerican.com.
Disclaimer: these are custom art creations and not toys meant for wimpy little new world order babies. Don't eat the art. Don't sue the artist. For more details, visit paranoidamerican.com.
Big D energy. Ain't nobody wanna step to me. If you wanna bring that drama, I'll whoop that ass like Michael Obama. Yeah, I got that big D energy. Ain't nobody wanna step to me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I'll whoop that ass like Michael Obama.
No, Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
Transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay.
I really had a
So what we do is call out to the good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, bigger mistakes, entertaining, calling linguists. Good guys. Forum of decorum needs a secretive society to advance on philosophies intentionally, magically. Good guys, good guys, good guys, good guys. Witches, weirdos, mischief making. It's okay to change your thinking. Good guys. Good guys, good guys.
Big up yourselves and welcome back to Sunday's episode of Secret Society of Good Guys. It is ladies' night, and this is probably for the best for all the dudes out there that we get a spot that we can talk about our periods.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Or
All the
whatever.
plastic shit.
We will be around on Tuesday nights or Wednesday as well. We have not figured it out yet, and then you will be joined by all the rest of the good guys. But Sundays will probably always be the girls. You may join some of the other members afterward in the Telegram group where we hang out, which you can only get that link if you join the Patreon. And then you can hang out with us and watch movies. This week we might just hang in the Telegram group and chit chat with everyone. I think next week Layla had the great idea that we're gonna start Indiana Jones from the beginning. So we'll do Ark, Raiders of the Lost Ark, into the Temple of Doom, then to the Last Crusade, then to the Crystal Skulls, and then we'll watch the last one all together. So this will probably be our next a little over a month. So if you are into Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, make sure you join the Patreon for next month. And we apologize to all the loyal members who have been on. We have had technical and overlord difficulties this month.
Fucking A.
But now we're back. So that was a whole spiel. How are you guys?
Good, good.
Not bad. I just got over the flu for 4 days and I never get sick. Is this how you pinky wave, by the way? Because somebody said pinky waving.
I don't know. I know how to hand hug.
Hand hug.
Yeah.
Hand hugging.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like when you meet hands and then like your thumbs kind of like,
You
know,
hug.
hand.
And so you just put your hand flat and then we hand hug. And it's called hand hug.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Never
But yeah.
ever heard of it before.
Yeah. Honestly, you know why I thought Indiana Jones?
Why?
Because it's just like I saw it like 20 years ago with a kid mind, thinking, "Oh my god, this is so cool," you know. But all the esoteric, all that interesting talk
The
about
mythology, the biblical shit, all of it.
all of it, and to
What was
revisit
your
that,
favorite Indiana Jones movie?
Temple of
the
Doom.
one,
Quick.
the one that
Same.
they went to Petra, that place.
Okay, Last Crusade. I love Last Crusade too, but I loved Temple of Doom because I liked the whole like ripping the heart out and it's still beating, and I thought that was all cool. The India thing was awesome.
So the first one, they're actually searching for the lost ark, like the Ark of the Covenant. The second one, they're searching for the Temple of Doom, supposedly, where there's like they pull the heart out, they're pulling the fire from the bottom. I don't even know what was the great relic in the Temple of
I don't
Doom.
either.
I don't remember.
It was like there was these crystals that he pulled out of the thing, but I don't remember what the great relic was in the Temple of Doom. Somebody in the chat probably knows.
I think it was the crystals because I remember him putting them in his bag. Oh, those stones.
Yeah, those weird orangey stones.
Yeah, they're kind of roundish.
That's Temple of Doom.
Yeah,
but that's also the heart
they
one.
burnt through his bag.
I'm glad we were visiting this because I don't even remember that.
And then the third one, that's the Last Crusade with Sean Connery, where they want the Holy Grail.
Yep.
And then the crystal skulls are all about the elongated skulls. And then there's the last one, which I don't remember. I haven't seen the last one, but I don't even know what they looked for in it.
Yeah, I've never seen it either.
I want to rewrite this. Why haven't they found the Spear of Destiny?
Mm.
There needs to be a new Indiana Jones. Some more relics are out there to be searched for.
Maybe they did. Well, no, they didn't, because I was thinking of Lara Croft and, Tomb Raider. That's kind of the same spin on. Indiana Jones, but female version. Yes, bitch.
That's
I never seen it.
it
That's
was
so
one of
you
my
guys
favorite
know,
games. I love
that is
playing it.
Layla's impression of a gay man.
Yes, bitch.
Which is
It's
totally different than you just saying that to one of your girls.
yes.
Yeah,
Slay.
queen. Yeah. It's like a whole different
What is
attitude than just being a
up
girl.
with that? Because girls don't really do that,
No.
like to that extreme.
It's
No, we
almost the
don't.
idea of trans, how they don't want to transition to another gender. They want to transition to the 1950s version of that gender.
Right? Like that Dylan guy, like, what the fuck?
Oh my
That's not
goodness.
what modern women look like.
No, yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's all just like this far reach to
New
the other
flavor
side.
shit. Yeah.
I mean,
They want to be trad. That's the
I
other word that I like for traditional that's put out there, like trans. They're like, I'm trans. No, I'm trad. I'm a
mhm.
traditional wife.
That's the
Call
new
me Max.
slang. Yeah. And honestly, being a traditional wife is great, but make sure you have, your life set up first, something that you could fall back on just in case you no longer can be a trad wife. Like, let's say your husband
I
cheats on you and
agree.
you have to divorce him. So, like, make sure you have some security for yourself,
And it's not easy. Just be like, girls just think, oh, I can cook spaghetti. That's not a trad wife. Like you keep the whole house clean. You make every meal. You make sure your man has his lunchbox when he leaves the house. You like do all his laundry. You fold it for him. You iron his shit for him. Like I know some girls that are traditional wives and they are top notch. I know some dudes that are traditional husbands, top notch. But all the girls that are trad wives, they have a dude that gives them their castle. Like
Yeah.
you can't be like a trad wife and think you're going to work a 40-hour work week.
Yeah, that's not.
Dude, I was a stay-at-home mom with 4 kids under the age of like, they were all 2 years apart. So, like, there was no fucking way. I would literally, like, go mop the kitchen floor, and I would turn around and go on to the next thing, and I'd turn around and, like, they would spill a whole thing of juice all over the floor that I just mopped. And it was constantly like that. So I never, ever could get ahead.
Mm.
Or
Oh, I
get
know.
head.
Well, there were some perks.
Look at Layla's a giant today drinking out of her tiny little cup.
Yes.
E
I can't
five oh.
I can't find my other one. Darn it.
Huh, weird.
Yeah.
I never seen you drink out of a different one. That's why I probably even noticed it.
Yeah, it's not my traditional blue cup. The blue one with the
The
stuff on it.
blue cup.
Yeah.
What else is going on? How have your guys' energy been?
Oh, weird. This it started out great, like high energy, and then all of a sudden it's like I want to shoot people.
Was that
You
just
know?
today or what?
No, like the past 3 days, 3, 4 days, I'm just like, fuck with me. I dare you. I will fucking kill
Just the
you.
past 3 days.
Oh, oh. It
That's
started
funny.
like Thursday. I don't know why. It's just like I guess dealing with customers all the time, and and it's like mentally draining. It's like I want to go home. So it's just like 6 days a week working with customers, and it's
A
like,
lot.
yeah, it's mental. It's mental.
Start to feel my stage face fall off. I know the exact number amount I sell, or I know the exact person I've waited on the number by. I can feel me where I'm like, I'm not good at this anymore. I need to get off stage. I'm not buying my own act. These people, I want to pull their esophagus right out. I want to be the guy from A Temple of Doom, and I want to pull their esophagus out and stare at it and look at them like, shut the fuck up.
Even my brother was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And my road rage is like, "I don't give a fuck. Like, get out of the fucking way." It's like everything was
And you just do that
triggering.
on a normal day.
Yeah, but no, it was like extra for like no reason. Like I could clearly see there's traffic, and I'm just like, "What the fuck is wrong with everybody?"
Happy St. Patrick's Day as
Losing it.
well.
Oh yeah, Happy
Happy
Patty's
St. Patrick's
Day.
Day.
Abby, what's St. Patrick's Day?
Bullshit.
I figured you'd
Everyone
actually
dressing
have
up
a
in their
really good
fucking
traditional, like story for it.
Yeah,
Well,
what
what
is
gets
St.
me,
Patrick's?
Yeah,
okay,
I
so
didn't
when you
expect
go,
Layla to have the good mixed story of St. Patrick's Day.
I think it's weird though because like
Leprechauns?
when you go out to like a Irish pub or something on St. Patrick's Day, there'll be all the people in the kilts and stuff, and then they're wearing those like hats with little like balls and stuff on them, and it's like you guys are like doing whole Scottish traditions here. This is like people mix Scottish and Irish so hardcore,
Yeah,
and it's like they're not the same, y'all. Like you're so
they're not.
American, you
Yeah,
don't even know.
Well, a big, huge thing why they're not the same is an Irish would never, they're not the same with the Queen. They're not the same with the crown.
Yeah,
Scotland is like part of the crown in the way that Ireland was like, well, we're never going to do that. The original, when they used to try to scare people and talk about terrorism and be like, oh my gosh, these Muslim people are going to blow up your town with bombs. The very first people that did that were the IRA. Like the Irish people did not
yeah,
mess around.
they were hardcore.
They were hardcore. Like when I was growing up, the IRA was like the only when you talked about terrorist groups, that's what you were
Yeah,
talking about.
same.
aren't they like a gun group or something, like a gun manufacturing thing?
Do you guys hear these noises?
I just saw your face. You're like, ugh.
These are my
Well,
cats. They're just throwing down things around me like they're
oh, they're allowed. They're allowed to make noise.
Someone in the chat said they thought we were drinking out of plasma bags when you were talking about when Cheney was talking about your cup. I'm like, we all have plasma bags though, thanks to Paranoid American.
Yeah, I was gonna
We
fill
should
mine.
do that one day. We
I
should
was
all
gonna,
like drink out of our little
I was gonna
plasma
fill
bags.
mine with what's it called, pomegranate juice, and just like
Ooh,
that
make it
seems
look like bread.
delish.
Uh-huh.
it does.
Black cherry juice.
Do you know who
Cherry
did that?
juice.
There was this lady who sat on a throne on TikTok and she made herself look like a vampire. She sat on her throne with a plasma bag and drinking like pomegranate juice out of it. She went viral because everyone
Allegedly.
thought that she was drinking blood. And she's like, guys, I'm not drinking blood. It's just fucking pomegranate juice.
I'm not drinking blood, you guys. It's
It's
just
called
palm juice.
it's just true
It's
blood.
just, it's just the blood
It's
of the
synthetic blood.
pomegranate. That's all.
All right, I'm going to put up a link too for us because I wasn't thinking about it. And I'll do this. I like it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, what else is going on in the world of entertainment, conspirituality? Has there been a false flag? Is there a war I don't know about?
Well, I do know that I posted a video about Biden talking about, oh, if you go up on the helicopters, all the blue roofs, they weren't burnt. We have to do something about that. And it kind of went viral a little bit on my page.
Was that a little like last week
Snippet.
or week before?
Oh, just today I posted it.
Again? He
Uh-huh.
said
Yeah, I know
another.
it
Yeah.
was just a short one.
Mm-hmm. It was like a
Well, the
hot
blue
mic.
roofs didn't burn. We're gonna have to do something about that.
Yeah. And it's like, what? And then someone in there is like, guys, you're making Republicans look stupid. Like, blue roofs do burn. And I'm like, did you not see the fucking evidence of all these places that were burnt to the ground? And all the things that were standing were the fucking blue cars, blue roofs, blue garbage cans, blue. Or maybe did they plant them there? And then
Bro, I just can't even deal with when someone says something like, you're making Republicans look stupid. I'm not part of your group.
yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't give
not
a fuck
part of
about
your group.
Republicans.
I don't care about your group at all. Whatever group you tell me, Cheney, you're a bad role model for lesbians. Don't care about your group. Don't
Thank
care
you.
about your group at all.
Period.
Like, don't
I
care. Whatever
represent
group.
me. I don't
Yeah,
represent any of you motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
I am a good Irish lass.
Wait, did someone
I'm
say that?
Scottish.
No, I am
Oh.
just like for my St. Patrick's Day, I wore
Oh.
my Get Lucky socks. I have my social shamrock shirt on today.
I
I gave
was
every single
How are you?
person. It didn't matter because we had an extra discount where I worked today if they had green on, and I just was every person. I just was playing like a
A
dumb
leprechaun?
test. I said things to them, every person. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and give you this discount today because you have green on.
Oh,
Real
nice.
people said, Real people. I don't have any green on. Just
Like,
take this
oh,
discount. Just take this
okay.
discount from me right
Oh,
now and shut it.
Okay, now I get it. I was like, wait.
Insane.
Like just shut it. It's
She's
just
telling
like
you she's giving you a discount.
Discount. Accept it.
That's
yeah.
the
Do you
message.
not want it?
Yay, my Cherie made
I know.
it. Whew.
I missed her last episode.
I did too. I didn't know what was going to happen without her in the chat. Without her manning the shop.
We love you, girl.
I have to go in there right now and make sure she has her wrench.
Yes.
Do y'all pinch people if they don't wear green?
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Like, wake up. Are you dreaming?
That it sounded so like I felt Layla in her head saying, "What are you white people doing? Like, what are you white people up to?
Like, what?
Is that a thing?"
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, why would you pinch someone for not wearing green?
Because it's St.
Like,
Patrick's Day.
yeah, but like, what's the reason for it? Like, what's the thing behind it?
Probably
Like,
to be cute and flirt, really.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To be cute and flirty.
Let me give you some pain a little bit.
I
Pinch
don't
this
like to
tip.
be pinched.
I hate
I
it.
hate it.
Oof.
I'm a
like-
My
good
grandma
pincher
used to do that to
too.
me.
I can pinch the back of your arm and leave a like a bruise without even thinking twice about it.
I could
I
do that
like
with my toes.
the
Can you pinch
micro
with your
pinch.
toes?
I would show my feet on air, but I don't want to
Not
give
for
away my
free.
sexy little secret. That's what I mean.
Yeah, not for free.
I can tie my shoe laces with my toes.
Can you?
If you
For
could
real?
really do that, that's pretty freaking crazy.
I really can.
I could tie a cherry stem
I've never
to my
tried.
tongue.
I can try a cherry stem with my tongue.
That's 3 of us.
Yeah.
We have that in
Hey,
common.
It's one of the things you can't be a secret society of good guy girl unless you can do that.
Hell yeah.
Maybe that's part of the issue. We should be making the guys do it too. It'd probably be very helpful for the world.
Yeah, it would.
Huh.
Yes, it would.
Yeah, this is a test, I think.
Eat
Gentlemen,
more cherries.
if you get a cherry stem, start learning how to tie it in a knot with your tongue. Why are the women knowing how to do this when a dude knowing how to do this would be of more pleasure?
Yeah.
Period.
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 I just had a mental vision for a second. Like,
Did you think of pussy period?
yeah, and and like,
Did you go full of Marina Abramovich?
yeah, I did. I wonder if people do that, like eat girls out while they have their period,
Yes.
and do they like it?
I mean, it just is what it is.
Like all bloody mouth. Wow.
Sometimes that's when I feel
Probably
a
avoid
tiger
that
or like a
area.
wolf.
I mean, if they're that kinky, hey, if you're
Well,
down
it's just
with it.
it's not even this is the question. If I'm like speaking about my wife, I say about her period, I ask her, "Are you on or are you on?" And on means that she has cramps and she doesn't want anything extra, any pressure, anything. She just wants to lay. She is on. But if she's just on, then she's totally down to frown. And then it doesn't bother me at all.
Well,
Yeah.
there you have it.
And I know a lot of dudes that it doesn't bother at all either. There's even a
So-
saying about it that I don't know if you've heard it. It's kind of redneck.
Huh.
Well, let's
It's
hear
like,
it.
if I can fuck through, or if I can walk through mud, I can fuck through blood.
Well, I like that. I've had situations with this one person who didn't mind at all and loved it. Like, loved it. Did not care. He's like, no, you're perfect. I don't care what comes out of you. Like, I will everything. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, it's just a little I mean, there's a different taste to it, but it's not all full blood. Like it's not like it's different than full blood, but it's still like metal. It's a little more
Yeah.
metal. You're a little more
Coppery.
metal. Yeah, you're a little more metal when you do that. But
It's like licking a penny.
and that's what Michael Douglas said that Catherine Zeta-Jones, like he had throat cancer from going down on her. I'm like, what a dick. Then I don't believe this at all because there would be a rash of throat cancer for lesbians.
Right?
Wait, they said they got cancer
I
from.
do. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Blame the woman, of course. Grow some balls. Like, fuck out of here.
Michael Douglas.
Oh, I got cancer because I ate a woman out. Shut the fuck up. It's
How many
like,
times did you
oh,
do it,
you didn't
motherfucker?
eat the
Sounds like you maybe did it once.
apple. Ugh, God, another Adam in the world.
And I apologize to you guys that we are late. We will be on going regular from both channels and hopefully streaming to both channels, which I might have to get a new streaming app. This doesn't concern any of you watching at all, but I want to be able to stream to both YouTube channels for a period of time so everybody knows to come over here.
Riggs. Life comes out of there. If that were the case, babies would be born with cancer.
What happened?
Look at the stats for lesbians and throat cancer, Layla. It's true.
It's not.
My eye is twitching.
It's not at all. All of a sudden you were screaming, Riggs! And I was like, what?
So I'm a cunt today. Like, God, don't. Like, I'm super cunty today.
I was calling myself punchy today.
Punchy?
I was like, I'm a little punchy. I can feel like I was just a little. Maybe it's like I'm tired.
Could this
be what? Plenty of sleep.
So it was do you think you caught a flu? Was the flu in your house? Because I know people get down. Like, I don't know if I believe in terrain theory and all this shit. Was the flu in your house or were you worn down?
Well, both. I mean, my daughter got sick and I never get sick, but her best friend was sick also, and her best friend tested positive for flu. We don't go get the flu test or none of that shit. So then I got sick and it lasted like 4 days, but then I'm like going through a lot of my personal life too. So yeah, emotions are high, and I know that like high cortisol levels totally kills your immune system. So
Riggs, it ain't true, bruh. You know how? If you have HPV and you're not telling people that you have HPV, human papilloma, whatever fucking virus, then yeah.
I would probably say HPV is a vaccine injury.
Yeah.
In general, like it is. You injected yourself with something that now you're spreading around to people, and you injected your kid with it, and now you're spreading it around to people. It has nothing to do with even women at this point. There's so many of these new things they came out with. It's akin to me of the is it the BRCA virus? What's the one that Angelina Jolie cut her tits off for ahead of time because she had the BRCA gene?
Yeah.
So it's akin to this to me, where all of a sudden all these women are searching in their lineage to just mutilate themselves ahead of time for something that probably wasn't even genetic to them and more so like a vaccine injury to their grandparent.
I'm telling you, allegedly, I have no idea, that my sister did that. She went and had her ovaries and tits cut off, and it's like, to me, I'm just like, I don't care if I have the gene, I have the gene. Like, I do believe in epigenetics, so it's nature versus nurture. What are you gonna? Only like 1% of what comes out is what you're genetically meant to do. Everything else is like completely environment, and it's how you deal with your emotions. It's what you put in your body. It's all epigenetics. It's all bullshit. Genetics is such bullshit.
It is. It really, I mean, because even if you think about, like, we all live in the same house. I'm your guys' mom. I end up getting something. We eat the same food every day. We drink out of the same pipes every day. We play on the same land every day. So all of a sudden, if later on you guys come down with what I had, it could have been that we were living in the same environment, in the same house, drinking the same polluted water, eating the same dirty cow. So it's not it to me, it's like some of quote unquote science that they try to pretend is so brilliant is like a 10-year-old's philosophy. Like we could sit here as 10-year-olds and like see the obvious behind their stupidity. But we're not allowed to say any of it because
Who said?
the YouTube
This
overlords that kicked us
yeah,
off Project Cheney.
we don't know what we're talking about. We're just assuming.
Allegedly.
So, yeah, allegedly,
This is all for entertainment purposes only.
yes.
And it's
Oh
so
my
crazy
goodness.
too that it literally every single thing that we've said from the beginning of every single thing, however long you have been in here that you woke up, whatever your woke up date was, and you found information, everybody's been saying the same thing, but we're still not allowed to say it. I almost wonder if I took like Inquirer or People magazine and I put that across us, would the computer see it and just move on? Like if I put
Ooh.
CNN across us, would the computer just let us keep talking about this, but we're not allowed to talk about this? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe I need to do some meme magic for Secret Society of Good Guys where I steal their logos and make them our logo. So that way the computer is just like, oh, it's just Anderson Cooper talking about the dangers of not wearing a mask. We can move on.
This is crazy that we have to like be careful of what comes out of our mouths. Like I never thought America would become that. Like my parents left the country because of that. And here I am and I'm seeing it happen and I'm just like, what in the fuck is happening to the United States of America? This is shameful, honestly.
It's so I just saw my Cherie put the link of the Outer Worlds with me and Thomas. It was just on Rumble and it's just us really sitting there and talking shit. I feel like probably it is such a raw, honest conversation about some other fools in podcasting and some philosophies that go on in podcasting, some behavior in the quote unquote, this is what I hate. Well, we're all part of the truth community. I'm not part of your community. I'm not part of your community. Like, just because we happen to be on the same podcast once doesn't mean we're part of any community. Just because you went on a show that I was once on doesn't mean we're part of any community. There's certain words that are thrown around that I think it's funny, like grifters. Like, you're a grifter because I have an item I'm going to hand you and I want cash back for it.
Yeah.
Like you're grifty, or it's just like a lot of jealousy going on in podcast realms. And we also talk shit about the people who are actually taking money because they happen to believe in the same God as you.
Yeah.
Like they're just blanketly taking money from people because they happen to believe in the same God as you. And they literally are the lowest rung of conspiracy where they're regurgitating shit you've heard better somewhere else. And then they're like, oh, but I believe in this God. So I'm passing a plate around. Make sure you give it to me. Because once every few weeks, I'm going to come to you with a story about how really hard my life struggles are. And then I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take the story of another conspiracy theorist. I'm going to put myself on it, and I'm going to be a perpetual victim every few weeks. So then I can keep passing the coffers and you'll keep giving me money.
Yeah. Not only that, what pisses me off that I see is a lot of podcasters are not even original and taking other people's creative ideas on how they do things and then making it their own before the original person's idea even had a chance to do it. So it's like, what the fuck? Or like you do it and they take it and make it theirs. And I'm just like, can y'all be original? Can y'all be authentic? Like, and it's mainly the men that I see doing it, biting off of women. I'm just
But
like,
it happens on TikTok and stuff too. There's all the little conspiracy people who are doing like baby conspiracies and just like taking what they've already heard and regurgitating it. It just happens.
not
I
even
don't know.
that, the style of how you do
Oh,
things.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, like, there's a certain way like Cheney will do something, or a certain way that I'll do something, or a certain way that you do something. And then you see so and so, and then they do exactly what you do, but with
They're
their own
parroting.
storyline. And I'm just like, really? Really? You can't be original? Yeah, okay. You can use my magic if you want, sure. But I'm a more powerful witch than you, so it's okay.
Authenticity, that's kind of been my word of the day, and that's kind of what I want to stand in at this point.
Yeah,
It's
literally.
really hard to stand in authenticity all the time.
It
It
is.
is.
Well, because you have social masks that you do have to wear.
Mhm.
And it's unfortunate, but you know, there are roles you have to play that are not your authentic self, but, like, that's what I'm kind of what I've been going through lately is just realizing that sometimes standing in your own authenticity means other people are gonna get their feelings hurt.
Yes, they are, and I love it.
This, my Sheree just posted earlier today on Meltology channel. Someone commented, "Heliocentric parents suck." And it's just even that idea where it's like, oh, people teaching their kids about the globe. They're just the worst parents in the world. Like food on the table and love, and maybe even giving that kid a chance to be authentic and not giving it any trauma. Those people could suck because they
Mhm.
don't teach the rhetoric that I learned too from a few maps and YouTube channels that could be a rewrite of history as well. Like,
Mhm.
Maybe the parents that teach about the Easter bunny suck. Shit, you know?
I don't know. That's why I like going on live sometimes by myself and just saying what I need to say. And I'll go on for like a half an hour binge of a rant and like da 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 da, and just say what I need to say. And yeah, I hurt people's feelings, but that's how I feel like I reach a lot of these people is like just saying my inner truth, and it might be ugly, but people love you or hate you for it. But either way, they still watch you.
yeah, I miss doing rants. I'm not used to the camera on me for my rants. Even though I recorded myself on camera for all my rants, I don't watch myself back. I have gotten more comfortable doing the Secret Society of Good Guys at just seeing my head so much because I have all of us on here that
Hmm.
I'm like, it might be easier for me to rant at the camera knowing I'm going to be out there. Usually, I don't know what I look like. I don't even think about it. Sometimes I'm staring at the sky. Sometimes I'm standing up in my rants. And so to think about it being filmed, it's like, okay, this is a whole nother magic to add into my rant, like of people visually seeing me.
You're right, Maria. They choose to feel hurt. I like that. That's true. That's very true. But I like to watch myself and then laugh at myself and like, damn, I'm fucking nuts. But oh well. I laugh at myself, you know?
You have
Why
to.
not? Yeah. Can't take yourself serious all the time, you know?
And this is a thing I'm not great at necessarily. I'm realizing about myself this week. I set a boundary for myself of something that is really irritating me. It's irritating me as a person. And then I set the boundary and I try to do it nice, but somebody doesn't catch on. Like I try to, and then I have to say it like, I don't like this. And then I feel like an asshole.
Yeah, actually saying what like having to be direct, it makes you such a bitch, and it's like and that's what
But
I
we
hate.
need more of that though.
No, I know, I hate it
Yeah.
though, because you get called out for being a bitch, and you're just like, "Look, I tried to freaking tell you every other way, but if
Hmm.
unless I fucking just tell you."
Yeah, it's like everyone's tiptoeing around certain things instead of just, hey, da 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 da, get it out of the way, rip the band-aid off and get it over with. Just say what you need to say.
Rip the Band-Aid off, that's my other theme this week.
Mm,
It's fucking, I feel like getting your little finger under it and like grabbing it. And you take the deep breath, which in our time, like it's like a few weeks, a few months. And but if you just tink one hair at a time, this band-aid, but sometimes when you just
Motherfucker, yeah.
think it's like, okay, well, we're here now.
yeah,
It's not necessarily comfortable. It's not necessarily, but we're here and it's said. And
yeah.
there's a freedom in that. There's like a beautiful freedom in that.
But it's like you, going back to Besa, it's like you with your word and like being direct, honest, straightforward, no sugarcoating, no beating around the bush, no talking in code, and like trying to figure out what the person's saying. It's like a lot of people are hated for that, but they're also respected for that. That's what I love. It's like the honor in your word. It's like, okay, this person like is not fucking afraid to say what they're saying and it makes sense and they're gonna continue being them. So it's like they want to hear more of that instead
All
of
my
like,
favorite people are bitches.
yeah, I'm a bitch, I'm a bitch, I'm a
It
bitch,
is.
I'm a
The
bitch, I'm
women
a
I
bitch.
admire the most, I see their inner like, oh, that cunt, she set some
Yeah,
boundaries in her life.
they're cunty as fuck, but they're amazing.
Yeah. It's like so crazy too that on a personal level sometimes the women that it's like we are Grady, but on a work level, that kind of woman in me, I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Yep. Personally, I don't want to hear it, but
This is a rando thing I did, and I don't know if it probably doesn't happen as much. I don't know. I don't want to assume anything, but so a thing that I do sometimes as a lesbian, I've realized, and the more just I heal personally, is I look at men and I try to think, if I were a straight lady, would I ever be attracted to that boy? Like that man, everything about him. And let's say I work with 5 dudes now, and they're all very different type of men. And I see what some of them look like, and I see what some of them dress like, I see what some of them act like, all this stuff. And I take it in like, what one would I, if I had an attraction, would there be an attraction? Who do I think's the cutest? And then I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, if I were to date one or like marry one, who do I actually think has the longevity that me and that person maybe could have a fun relationship? And the actual opinions of the 2 men I picked out of the 5 who I thought was the cutest and then who I would marry, I surprised myself that I was just like, huh, my like boy opinion is so thought out like a business. Like, so like, would that guy be funny at all? Does he have anything to teach me? Yada, yada, yada. Where most of the women, if I was like, okay, if I date them, it's such a different process. Like, it's so easy for me to see all the girls, what they represent for each woman and their authenticity. But the men, it's like such I imagine it would be like what it is like for a man to be like, what is that dude an attractive dude? Like
Cheney doing fuck Mary Kill with her coworkers.
that's kind of what I do in my head. But I told one of my female straight coworkers about it today. I was like, so I thought if I married a boy in here, you would never guess the boy. And I told her, and she was just like, huh.
Really? Huh?
Yeah.
Please tell me why.
Yeah, like in her straight lady brain, she was like, never. It just was like such a different like because attraction wasn't the thing. Like it's never going to be the thing. Even when I was comparing the looks of the boy, like, okay, he's the cutest boy, and he's the boy that I feel like at home we'd probably get along the best. Like sex never entered, like, well, I'm not gonna be attracted to either of them. Like even the
Yeah.
cutest boy, different than the one I'd get along with the best. So I'm just gonna pick the one I'd chill with the best.
Yeah, that's where I'm at now. Like being single for so long, I'm just like, oh, because man, some hot guys, I have choices to like get the hottest of the hot, but it's not even about that. It's like, can you teach me something? Can you make me feel safe? Like, can I be myself around you? Like, are you going to judge me for my thoughts? Like those deep things where I felt like I had struggled with in other relationships. It took me time to evaluate myself also, like why was I so upset in relationships, why did I feel so um not myself, and I analyzed what I was doing wrong and who I was choosing in relationships, and I didn't blame others. Like I blame myself because it's just me, it's me putting myself and choosing who I want to put my time in. So now I'm like very fucking cautious of who I want to be with, especially if you're fucking vexed.
Good on you.
Fucking A.
But see, I'm at the point where I don't want any of that. Like, I just want to be the captain of my own ship. I want everybody to leave me the fuck alone.
I like that too. I like that too.
You're about to like you just want to be left alone. You want to be all on your solo journey. Layla's been on her solo journey and
Yeah.
she's like, maybe I want to let somebody
Maybe.
aboard my
Maybe.
ship for
Maybe.
but it might be a whole different deal for you, Layla, because I feel like you have so much masculinity in your everyday life. You don't get the chance to really experience the beauty of it when you accept it in. Like
Yeah.
if you had your whole own beautiful space and it was your genie bottle and you got to like have a man over and you would like it would feel so
I would
different.
I would be such a fucking goddess. Like, oh my god, like my whole pad would be goddess. Like what the fuck? Who the like? I know who I
I
am in
picture
that
it.
sense.
I
Yeah.
picture it. It seems like it'll be silky and full of patterns and colors, and it'll
Yep.
smell like a like I picture it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I
That's
picture
exactly
like certain dishes that have cutaways and bronze and copper cups.
gold and all
Yep.
that. Yeah. That's me. Like very almost gypsy like.
I picture it like very like an old Albanian boho mixed with an
Yeah.
American like bohemian.
Yes. Damn. Fucking on point, Cheney. You already know.
I can see
Take
it.
notes, fellas. Take notes.
But I think you'll have a very beautiful way of because when I was even doing designs and for the intro of the Secret Society of Good Guys and going through the Albanian designs, they're so masculine. And
Mhm.
that double-headed phoenix is as feminine as, that scorpion to eagle to phoenix. And I'm just like, I picture your Albanian roots, but done in a softer way.
Yeah. Could finally step into my feminine when that opportunity's coming. And I can't wait to have you ladies over. It's gonna be so great.
I know it's gonna be pimp.
I know you guys hate crypto, but I know it's gonna hit like
I
even
hope it
more.
hits
And
super
I'm
big for
flying you ladies
everyone.
out.
I
Flying you
mean,
ladies
I hope it hits big enough. Like if let me say something right now. If crypto's gonna hit, I hope XRP is the crypto that hits like no other, because I know friends and family of mine that actually have invested in it, and I would love them to get their big ups.
Well, it's not only for myself. I want the people that I love to be on my level. It's not going to just be all for me. Like, I would want to do something so great for the people that I love that it's not just me going up, it's all my loved ones? So I'm a giving person when it comes to that. Like, oh, I give money away like it's nothing, but I give it from, I'm going to get it back. Give some and I get it back tenfold in that idea,
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
kind of that way with money. I always
Mhm.
feel like if it flows through me, it always flows to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you have that attitude that, like, every time you spend money, you have to have the attitude when you spend it, like even paying your bills, like of thankfulness, and then you keep it coming in. Because, like, when you pay a bill and you're fucking begrudging, or you pay something and you're pissed, like had to buy new tires or whatever, then you're stopping the flow.
Yeah. It's I forgot how it goes. My brain. Never mind. Next.
You're stopping the current in the currency.
Yeah, currency.
Yeah. Flow. Like
It's so strange to in the way that the universe worked of being like um a peasant and a king financially, like of feeling both these lives and being in my peasant self. Like you get to certain places in your adulthood, even financially, that you forget what struggle is like. Sometimes you forget what it's like to ever like the lights just stay on. Like you work and then the lights stay on and the cars drive and everything just goes, and you have every channel you think about, and anyone just is like you don't even think 99 cents, 199, whatever the app is, nothing in your head enters. And then you live like that for an adult for a period of time. And it's rare, or hopefully it's rare, but a lot of people had struggles during, but getting that place again to like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to hustle? How am I going to like remember what kind of hustler I was with what kind of skills I had? And then you think, okay, we're going to hustle. We're going to hustle. Oh shit, you're sick. Like you can't hustle. You got to turn your hustle off. You got to lay down for a little bit. And then when you're sick and you're like, okay, I feel like I'm dying, nothing else matters. You're like,
mm,
I don't care. You're like very grateful that you're just comfortable. And then you're very grateful that you're like, gosh, I like that it's clean. And
yeah.
then you're very grateful that you're like, look at this thing I have right here. And look at these people. It's like once everything gets so simple and then life just flows again, I can't tell you how rich I feel. I feel more rich now than I did with the most amount of currency that I had.
Mm,
And the feeling of rich makes me feel like I have way more currency coming to me than I ever had before. Because that, it's in the future, like we feel something so big, we're feeling it from the future to now.
Yeah.
And I feel like I feel that for the first time.
I always wondered how it would be to live in a world where people just did things instead of for money just to do it, just to do it. Like all these corporations were doing things for money. I wonder if we lived in a world where we just had these corporations, but we weren't doing it for money, but we're just doing it for humanity and make humanity move. But it's like, oh, money makes the world go round. But why does it have to be money? Why can't we just change what the currency is and just do it because we need to do it as a survival mechanism for the whole of humanity? Like, oh, I'm going to be a plumber. Oh, but I got to do it because I need to get paid. And but why can't we do it? Oh, I'm going to be a plumber so all my neighbors can have plumbing. All my neighbors can have electricity and all my neighbors can have internet. But we don't do it that way. We do it all for money. I wonder how it would be if we just did things just to do it for humanity and that be the currency.
I feel like money or coin was supposed to be the placeholder. If you, let's say you were going to come do my plumbing and the only thing I had to give you was eggs to pay for that plumbing. That was what I did. I had an egg farm and you were like, okay, that's awesome. I will totally do it for a trade of eggs, but I don't need 200 eggs today. I love it, but I don't need that much. If you give me a dozen eggs today and then a placeholder of coin so I can go over to Abby and get some milk from her and then down the road and get some bread, that is really all the money was ever supposed to be, is a placeholder of your service. That if I couldn't give you that whole, like if you were giving me a silk and I was giving you a thread, I couldn't give that. And so I
But why
understood
but
the
why do we need to give anything? Why can't we just do it just to do it instead of like expecting something in return and just doing it because humanity as a whole needs it. I'm good at this thing. Why didn't we just do it that way instead of like, oh, I fixed your toilet, so here's this for that. Instead of
Well,
just doing
I
it
think
as a whole, if we could
it
just
comes down to the
change.
money is time thing, because that's the thing is that not everything that has to be done, like plumbing, is an easy task. It's a
Yeah.
long endeavor. So, that person comes back to the whole commodity of it all because that person obviously their trade is going to be much more needed. So when are they going to have a break if they're doing it for free? When are they going to ever have time to work on their own issues and stuff? I just think that I like the idea of it, but I do see that, you know, m- money, beads, whatever, a placeholder. It's because you have limited time.
Yeah, I see that too. But I'm just thinking like,
And if you were away, like if you, let's say you have your farm, like you're a plumber, but you also have your land that feeds you and takes care of you and your house and everything, and you end up being the person we need for the aqueducts, not just for mine and Abby's house, but we actually need you at the big system for the next week because you're the one with the skills. And so
mhm.
you're like, but I'm not going to be able to be on that land. I'm going to have somebody else come and do that. But I'm already having the eggs and she's already doing the milk. There's nobody to come and do your thing. But what about if there's a placeholder of somebody that's not skilled in the things we do? They're a lesser than, and we're just giving them the beads. So you're good. It takes 5 of you to come do what Layla can do by herself at her farm. But we need her at the city thing to come and do this. She needs 5 of you idiots that she can give her beads to because her time is way more valuable to us right now that we need to give her 10 beads for every hour she spends away from her farm. She needs to take those 10 beads and give 2 beads to each of those 5 people because she is the best at what she does. And now we have to take her away from that thing to do this for all of us.
Well, and I hate to say it too, but there's so many people that take advantage of people and free systems and stuff. Like they will never do their share. Or even if you make them do it, they'll do a half-ass job and it'll actually end up costing you more.
But isn't that the
So,
condition of society that we created? I'm just speaking like in a sense of
yeah.
like, what if we didn't have this type of conditioning and we all were conditioned a different way to think about doing things in a whole as a community. The conditioning of us thinking, oh, I'm on this level, and this person pointing that person and saying, oh, they know better than me, or that person's good for this. And why, like, I'm thinking in the sense, if we were conditioned differently, wouldn't it be better if we just like did things for the goodness of humanity? And yeah, like taking away all the conditioning that we know now,
Mhm.
I think if we did more raising of a village, that would make sense, but we
Yeah.
don't. We have individual families, we have our own little pods, and, like, these people come in, like, I don't know if you ever worked with somebody who will find every way to not do a damn thing, and, like, they just piss you off because 'cause you're doing everything, and, um
Like ant
but
colonies.
it's almost like they're raised that way. It's like they're raised to be a shitty person, and so they're just gonna be a shitty person, and it doesn't matter how many times you tell them what they have to do or what they need to do or whatever, they're gonna still, like, look at you and not do
And
it.
here's the other thing. Here's the other get. So, let's say Layla loves to ride the tractor all day. It fills her up to ride the tractor all day.
Yeah.
But for us in the village,
Yeah.
we need Layla to be the plumber. And so Layla doesn't want to be the plumber anymore. She'd rather take less beads to just ride her tractor all day. She no longer wants to be the plumber. But for the betterment of the whole, we need you to show up and plumb.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I'll be like, you know
somewhere,
what? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll dive in the shit for y'all.
yeah, but for again and again and again and again, and one day you have the most skills, but you're like, look, you guys, Abby's come a long way. Is she the plumber I am? No. But you don't have to give her the 10 beads. You can give Abby the 6 beads and Cheney the 4 beads. She's coming up under Abby. One day she'll be worth 6 beads. But I don't want to do this anymore. You guys got to
My heart's
figure it
not in
out.
it, man.
My heart, I'm 70 years old. Like, you
Yeah.
got to replace my brilliance. But
Yeah.
sometimes with every single skill, if Layla does it the best, we are never going to touch it. We never want to. Why? If we ever fuck with it, it's going to make our whole entire village less. But
Yeah.
eventually she has to step away. She has to train people in her skills that she knows
That
that the
want
village
to.
is going to be okay.
Yeah.
I feel like in a whole, there used to be that saying that Americans used to plant the trees that they would never feel the shade of. And that's why we used to be a great country. And
Yeah.
really what you're saying is that idea of like, why aren't we just giving to this thing more? Like, don't you care about this thing that's for kids that are past you? Like,
Yeah.
why aren't you taking your skills or your know-how or even just your working body to plant a tree that you may never see the tree big. You
Yeah,
might
because
never get to lay under it or eat the fruit, but somebody will. And it might not even be your kid, but it could be Abby's kid, or it could be Abby's kid, or a kid you never meet. Isn't that awesome?
yeah, and because it's
It
so
is.
fucking annoying today. We have billionaires just billions and taking billions and billions and billions and hoarding it for themselves. And it's like, there's people fucking starving in the world. If I was a multi-billionaire, that would not be a problem. But for some reason, that's very hard for these billionaires to like put into their brain and do something good for humanity. And they're like, "Oh, I put in $1 million to this charity. Oh, I'm a good person." Like, really? Are you fucking? Where's that money going? Really? Like,
Yeah.
It's all forced scarcity though. That's all fake to me because the idea that any one of us in our towns that the right time you can drive to your grocery store and they are throwing out dumpsters of fresh food that people could eat and survive on. Every store across our whole entire
Mhm.
country is doing this. And so that the idea that that's happening, people aren't needing to eat in our country.
hmm,
Starvation, if it's happening to children in our
yeah,
country. And there's good moms out there that are having, and dads that are having to sell parts of their soul to make sure food is staying on that table for that kid. And we're not hearing about it because those people are just trying to work to keep the food on the table.
yeah,
It's like fake scarcity. And that's where you hear people that are like, I'm freegan. And you're like, what? And they're like, I won't pay for fucking food. there's too much free food. And you hear about all these people that are like, I want to live off land. I want to live off land. And you know damn good and well they can't keep a house plant alive. And they really think they're going to produce enough food that if shit hit the fan, they're going to have any chance of just feeding themselves during a winter, much less their family.
Oh, Cheney, they could do it, man. They stopped all the fucking trees, just walking down the sidewalk, pull the fruit down, eat it as you walk. There's
I
no
understand that it could
so
happen, but
annoying.
the amount of distance it is away from happening is like you could just walk and pull the fruit down. Not every seed grows a tree, and it takes 20 years to grow that tree. So what happens from here to there? There's not enough fruit trees to feed your town. If you live in New York, how many trees do they need?
Well, it used to be a thing, and they took them all down. In Astoria, oh my God, where I used to live, every house had their trees, and all of them. One had an orange, not orange, pears, apples, whatever the case is. I'm like, oh my God, so many fruits. And this was when I was a kid, and all of a sudden they're just gone now. Like they take them all down. Just plant fruit trees all the way, berry trees, bushes, microgreens instead of fucking grass. But the
They came
system.
in our towns and did this.
A lot of the
Yeah.
schools and stuff do plant little gardens and everything
Yeah.
like our community did, and then I looked and, they built this big old garden and anybody could take the fruit out of it. They put railroad ties all the way around it, and I don't know if you guys know about railroad ties, but they're covered in freaking toxins. Like, you should never have it near a vegetable garden, anything you're gonna eat out of. I'm like, "And they're feeding that to the poor kids. That's great."
Annoying.
Yeah. I do think there's a lot of like Florida used to have so many fruit trees. All the citrus came from here. And then no, this isn't even a conspiracy theory. China comes in and takes over our orchards, and we slowly get canker on all of them, and they make a huge thing. Oh my gosh, almost like mad cow, or they do to chickens. Like, we discovered one bird with the bird flu. Destroy all your birds. You have to destroy your birds, and if you want to get paid out by insurance, we have to see their carcasses dead. So they want to make sure you destroy your birds or destroy your pigs. So they did this to the groves in all of our states. And they said, you have to pull all these trees up or they're going to spread to all the trees. Get rid of them all.
Get rid of all the female trees.
And yes, and it was a lot of the thing was just an ugliness on the outside, not an ugliness on the fruit inside. So they pull up all the fruit. And so now none of those baskets, like if you drive down US 1, there used to be tons of orchards all the way down. And those orchards spent all year just mailing stuff to up north so they could have their vitamin C and their zinc. All those places are closed. And you'll see places like Synergy. And it's like some little Chinese company. That's not the name of it. It's like some little Chinese company that's all in our groves, but there's no more groves anymore.
Well, it's kind of the whole thing that happened in France too or in Europe with the root rot and all the wine. Because did you know that they always, Europe always claims to have the best wines and stuff, but they're all American grapes. They're all American grapevines because they had a root rot that killed all of their grapevines.
And that's why the oldest strand of anything, whether it's grapes, wines, when you find these old family vineyards, that they have bottles and they have vines that are hundreds of years old. That's why it matters. When you find these stalks, or even in marijuana, when you find old growers that have been doing this for 50 years and they have the original White Widow seeds or the original, like strands that you got, the original Kushes, the names that we all know from growing up, those don't exist anymore. Everything's been
Like
hybrid and
heirlooms too.
GMO.
Yeah, like
Heirloom tomatoes. Yeah.
I believe
Or
in
heirloom anything. Yeah.
heirloom anything. I think that you should collect heirloom seeds if you're gardening because it's
You know
little.
what's
For
interesting?
some reason, I feel like they might be more resistant to all the bullshit than all these hybrids.
I
There's this
agree.
lady on TikTok who's from Russia, okay, and she's on the hunt for tomatoes that she has in Russia, and she's been trying and buying all these tomatoes from all these different types of stores, and she says they taste like fucking shit. They're like, I don't know what you guys are eating, but even heirloom tomatoes are not like heirloom tomatoes that you should be eating. She's like the organic ones. She's like, these are even worse than the non GMO fucking tomatoes, and I'm like, I
GMO
wonder
tastes
what.
good.
Yeah,
Like, people wanna talk shit, but really it usually does taste superior to organic, I think,
yeah. So
I
I'm
I
like
like
wondering,
organic, don't get
what
me
does
wrong,
a
but
real tomato taste like now?
If
Because
I've had heirloom, like if I've grown it in my garden, like, and this, I have not done this in Florida yet, but that I've had it really come to pass. There is 3 growing seasons in Florida. The sun, when it's harshest in the summer, is a killer to a lot of our plants. That's when you need to like watermelon up and get viney things. And
yeah,
if you watermelon to pumpkin around your like edge of your fence, it's like perfect
Mhm.
for Florida. But tomatoes, they won't grow during the summertime. But I've done the whole organic thing in Portland and whatever, the peppers, the tomatoes, the beans, off the you pull it and you're like, "Oh my gosh, you get so good at gardening that you could just walk by any weed, pick it up and rub it in your fingers and you're like, that's edible." You
mm,
start being like, that's tomato. Like, you just know by a leaf. You get like it's
Yeah.
so quickly how you remember your innate thing when you're gardening, and how the skill set, once you take the gloves off and put your hands in the soil and you plant it and you do all the stuff and your sweat goes in it, it's like something about it you remember.
mm,
I'm not a gardener, and I became like, I would talk to my friends that were in botany classes like I knew what the fuck.
mm.
And I couldn't tell you right now, but I haven't done it in a few years, but how quickly it's like in an innate thing in our species. We know how to grow things.
Interesting.
Well, and the it's funny that you said it though, taking your gloves off, because in those Anastasia of the Ringing Cedars books, she talks about how, like, first of all, she says that you shouldn't give kids, like, plastic toys and stuff, you should give them, like, sticks and things, like, little, natural things that they can play with, but in the gardening sense of it, she says, put the seeds under your tongue for, like, about 9 minutes before you plant it, because the digestive enzymes in your mouth, like, in your DNA, will mix with the seed, and it'll produce medicine for you. So but there is something to and you should work the soil with your hands and your feet and all of it.
I was just gonna ask, have y'all ever tried using your own shit as fertilizer?
Well, there is a thing that if you are like back in the day, this is why like the outhouse had to be a certain amount deep and go out. I've done so much research on this now that you could shit in your, and I might say it wrong. There's probably somebody that's way more scientific studied on this. You could shit and spread it around your soil, but then you would have to do like take the ash out of your fireplace and spread the ash on top
Yes.
of that shit, and then more soil and whatever the compound was of ash out of the fireplace with your human shit, then it would become fertilizer. But otherwise, it was not right for soil. I think because we eat protein,
Yeah.
it wasn't like something about it was a little messy.
Well,
Mm,
that's why I know that, like, my former mother-in-law would say stuff about produce from certain stores, like, "Oh, they use human fertilizer, you should never eat that." So,
huh.
Human
it came
fertilizer.
from Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is it's interesting to me that I want to get one. When I see a girl with a yoga towel that they use instead of a yoga mat, I'm like, that's so much better. Why have I been sitting on a rubber mat trying to ground out all these years? That's
Yeah.
the silliest thing in the whole world. Sit there until the cows come home. You're literally never going to ground out. And so we have these shoes on, same rubber soles. So you're walking around all day. Your back hurts, your feet hurt. You're not grounding out one time throughout your whole day. So then you're like, I really need to relax. Let me go garden. Put rubber gloves on and stick your hands in the soil.
And put a sun cap on so the sun doesn't give you that energy either.
That's what I've
So
been
you're
doing every morning. I go out, I pour my cup of coffee, and I go and I sit down on, like, my bottom step, and I take my shoes off, and I put my feet on the ground. I ground every morning. I love
Nice.
it. I don't
one
care
of
if it's
my
cold.
things, I saw somebody write about in other counties in America, they use different what soda as pesticides. I want to run for, we have a mosquito commission here in my town. Most Florida towns probably have it. Alabama, New Orleans, or Louisiana, places like this, South Georgia, they probably have mosquito commissions. We have a red, it's not red, it's yellow, but the red baron with like plane, how you'd see it meow, meow, and doing all these cuts. We have this mosquito plane that flies over and it does like dastard, like feats, aerial feats, because the plane driver doesn't want to fly through his own cloud. So
Hmm.
he has to spin and he flies really low to our houses and comes up. So he's just like just spraying us with poison. But it happens all over Florida. And so this poison, we have no idea what it kills. Everybody in Florida has fake green lawns. Fake green lawns bring mosquitoes. They don't have any natural weeds that are growing anywhere.
Or what if they're just, dumping mosquito eggs
Eggs.
everywhere?
Well, here's the other thing. So if you were a kid and you grew up in the South, like we all remember fruit trees, there used to be so many frogs down here. So many frogs. Like if it rained, there was frogs jumping across the road. Like you'd drive trying not to hit
Yeah.
frogs just jumping. Now there's no frogs. I wonder what's killing the frogs. And
Here
they're the
too, now
number
that you
one
speak of that.
eaters of mosquitoes. You know what else I don't see a lot of? Dragonflies. There used to be so many dragonflies when I was a kid. I don't see any dragonflies. You know what they do? Eat mosquitoes. So when I started to look up what are the number one things that eat mosquitoes, I don't see those things anymore. And I
Um,
don't trust mosquitoes. I don't think they're real. I think the
I
number
hate
one
'em.
thing that Jurassic Park, with the biggest psyop in Jurassic Park, isn't the dinosaurs. It's that they put that fucking fake mosquito inside that syrup.
Amber.
And yeah, they're like, and look how old this is. And then we all think mosquitoes are prehistoric. No, they're created. They're genetically modified organisms.
I wonder if I can go into the dream realm and use my astral body to give Bill Gates what's that called? Paralysis, sleep paralysis, and strangle him in his sleep.
You could, but I guarantee you he has guardians in the sleep state because I mean,
Motherfucker.
all those rich people, they know what's up, and they fucking yeah,
I'm
he'll have
coming for
guardians.
him.
I'm glad you brought this up because something came up when Abby left the show, and I've just been thinking about it so much that so in the Russian dream hackers of it all, and the talk is, and we keep thinking like inwardly, okay, oh, how am I, like, I'm going to hack my dreams, yada, yada, yada. But the study of this is Russian dream hackers. And however long ago it was created that this Russian dream hacking thing started, I got to think they perfected it. And Inception is closer to the movie that they're up to now. And the OA is how they're keeping us fucking blind.
Mm.
Well, yeah, Inception, they were doing Inception shit, like, because they can have actually, that's the one thing you can do is plant ideas. Like, they've been doing that shit since the 90s, so they've been doing it a long time before the movie came out. That's
So
where
that's what
the ideas these
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if they've perfected it to write it down in a book enough that they don't mind it get out to the public, that we all start effing around with it, they've got next level to it.
Oh,
So
they have.
Mm.
like I was like, do you think there's super soldiers that just lay inside things to F with dreams? Like, so you like how Abby's like, oh, or Layla's like, I wish I could give Bill Gates sleep paralysis. And you're like, well, you could, but I'm sure he has guardians. Like, where I'm like, oh, they've probably perfected this. And this would be so much more powerful than any war we could ever even think of
Yeah.
on soil, is to be able to do it in a dream. If you were a dream hacker to the next level, think of everything they've told us about computer hacking. And we haven't had one computer hack from anything Guccifer 2.0 since Hillary's emails, by the way. We haven't had one hacking since Julian Assange. We haven't had one big hacking scare since. It's all just, oh, it's China. Anyway, yeah, it's just like, who cares about computers if they've been hacking your dreams for the last
That's
For
what
30
I'm
real.
saying. That is the ultimate computer because that is your brain, that's your subconscious, that's like but that ooh, I forgot what I was gonna say.
We're all in heaven right now and dreaming this experience.
Well, I
No,
think
I
this
There's
is
another
real.
there this like this.
Yeah, because this has matter, like the dream realm, the reason why you can, like, manifest anything so quickly is because it doesn't have mass. So here, like, mass slows everything down. That's why on this side of reality, like, you can manifest shit, it won't happen like it will in a lucid dream, like, instantly. It takes a while because you have to let matter
But I think
catch up to it.
they
Like, the
ask us
tangibility of things takes a little bit longer.
awaken, to awaken yourself. And I think the awakening is to know this is not your realm and this is an experience you're having, and then you die and then you go to your actual experience. Like that whole being in a coma and not realizing it, and then people waking up and they're like literally in a coma for like 13 hours or whatever.
Maybe, but what about the fact that most people are in a coma right now? Like,
Yeah.
even everybody listening to this, I'm not even playing.
Yeah, that's what
If
I'm saying, yeah.
you literally have 2 screens. You have your thoughts and you have like, which is your inner screen, and you have the outer screen, which is everything that's happening around you, and your attention's only ever at one or the other. You're rarely at the center point where you're like, I can see my thoughts and I see reality and I can see it all at the same time. Like I can see everything in my field of vision while I'm talking to you guys. I can process what somebody else is saying while I'm speaking. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
And so that's what waking up truly is, because that's where your power is. Like that's where your personal power lies, is in your attention. And if your attention is hooked in one area or the other,
Mhm.
then you are literally just a puppet on a string. You're following a script.
Yeah.
And
So it's
unless you're awake, you cannot do anything but follow the script that was already written for you. You're a fucking victim of fate.
It's like when you're playing a video game, and yeah, we see them as light, but the characters in the video game, they are in that realm touching matter. It seems like matter in that field of
Yeah.
perception. So it's like when you ask, because a lot of people do this, they go online and they talk to the NPCs on the digital world, and they say, "Hey, you're in a simulation and you're in a video game," and the reaction of some of these NPCs in the game are like, "Oh my god, what do I do? Don't go that way, but go that way." So they're having a full-on conversation, and some of these characters in the video games are going through like a hard realization like, "Oh my god, I'm just in a video game?" And some of the reactions like, "Okay, you're just crazy." Like,
Or when
and they
they'll,
go
like,
on.
sit there and actually talk to you, like, "Are you really gonna do that to me right now?" And you're like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck?" 'Cause, like, I have moments like that where you're like, well, like, where
Yeah.
you're like, "God, are you serious?" Like,
Mhm. Yeah, so
Do
it's
you
just
think part of the
strange.
thing, you know how every you're like, I only slept for 15 minutes and I had a 3-hour dream? You know,
yeah.
those kind of how dream time is only split seconds, but it's so long. Do you think part of it, the reason I left this on the bottom from James for so long is he said matter is condensed light. And if our eyeballs aren't open, we are taking no light in. And so if like you were saying currency, like the gold or the coin is the representation of our time, if like light is somehow also representation of our time or that coin, if we're not letting any light into our eyeballs, can we experience time that much quicker once we're not part of that realm? So it's just like we are part of a thing that time and space aren't real once you're dreaming. So you can experience so much more in that time than you would be able to in this because we're like slowed up
You
because we
know
have
what's
all this
Yeah, we're
light
slowed
holding
down.
us back.
Yeah. Yeah, we
so
do.
this
Light's keeping
guy.
us down.
Well,
Shit.
here's this interesting thing I just
Love and
found out
dark.
about water. This guy stayed underwater in, I don't know what kind of vessel, for 93 days, okay? He comes out 10 years younger. His cells come out 10 years younger. Like he reversed his aging, and now they want to do a full-on study about, what it is like living underwater and how it made him like reverse his age. Like his whole cellular structure even changed. So like there's this whole new study on it. You can even check this out yourselves, guys. It was recent. Like it came out I think last month. And he lived underwater for 93 days, and it changed him, like, literally
'Cause
changed
I
him.
bet you he lived mentally outside of time there, though. I bet he
Probably.
wasn't sitting there counting the fucking days, too. So there was that as well, because age is such a mental construct. Your cells are new every 7 years. You have
Mm,
brand new fucking body. So if you
mm,
have a brand new body, then why are you aging? It's because you're taught that social construct that that's what we're supposed to do.
mm,
There was something I remember reading or a study about the like it is it's not necessarily something that is natural. It's something that's like turned on in our genes that we age. And if you take they say there's things of like the Galapagos turtles that they don't have any natural form of death. They just live and they like since they've been studying these things, they have no natural form of death, like except us or something we bring in or some kind of weird like bacteria, like something that doesn't exist. And so they're theorizing that we had somewhere in this aging thing was like turned on and amped up on us a little bit.
mm.
And oh,
I'm like, ugh, something, just burping and
I know,
hiccuping.
you need some ginger,
Mm,
some
or
ginger.
whole cloves of garlic. Just ingest
That's
them.
for like a cold. That's
Hmm.
like a cold or a flu. Like just chew garlic.
Well, not even take you. The secret is taking whole cloves and swallowing them. It helps all the bacteria in your body, like kill all the bacteria, the bad bacteria, and acne in your skin and all kinds of like skin conditions, bacterial conditions.
Oh yeah, I chew them though. Garlic is such a weird little because you have to bust it open. It has a weird skin on the outside. This is one of the reasons that they tell you to not use a garlic press
I
and to
love
cut
busting it
your
open.
garlic instead, because when you crush it, it releases full different flavors than when you slice it. It's like the same way of breaking a plant and cutting it clean.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so I've always chew it and like get this like almost like
I can't. I gotta
I
talk to
get off
people.
on it. There's like a hot, but okay, here's another thing I
You like
think.
horseradish too?
Oh no,
Yes.
not me. I hate it. Ugh, I can't.
I think that certain things stay on us as people, like with our pheromones. So I can eat garlic like by the clove and it would be fine. It wouldn't even gross you out if I was talking to you. But if I had an onion yesterday, you might smell it on me. Like I have no issue with garlic, but onion, not great. Not cute. Not cute.
Well, that's the one thing about garlic too, is that like in herbology and stuff, when you use garlic for medicine, they do have you cut it up and wait. Like you let it sit for 15 minutes before you, because the something about the oils releasing
Mhm. They
too.
even tell you
So
with that cooking, like,
yeah,
having your oil on really low, like putting your garlic in first and letting it release into your oil so all your oil becomes the garlic oil before you put like
yeah,
or people will like do something little like add onions to their meat and it'll change the consistency because you just cook the onion flavor down into your fat. Where if you cook the onions separately and caramelize them and do something else and then add them, you're going to get an entirely different flavor. It's just little things, but everybody
yeah.
doesn't it's another cool thing about garlic and onions both is if you grow them yourself and they come up with their sprouts, you can cut all of that and use it in cooking, and it's like a softer flavor of those things.
I have fuck tons of wild onions growing in my yard right now, but the problem is they're growing like right over my sewer line. I'm like, nah, I don't think I'll do that.
You know,
Like a perfect straight line.
you're like, "Huh. Huh.
It might
Weird."
be some really good shit, or it might be some really bad shit.
Do you have mice there?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, my cat killed the Easter bunny actually and left its head on my porch this morning.
You wanna know what's so weird? I was on before we went on Friday night, I went outside to smoke my nightly joint, and I, saw a bunny run across and stand up right in front of me, and you know how usually when a bunny notices you,
Yeah.
it's like, "Ah, head for the hills." It was totally relaxed, and it looked at me, and then it kinda, like, did this it was the chillest bunny I ever seen in my whole life. I felt like, "Does it want me to follow it?"
That I sent you, was it video that one day when I had that bunny that just didn't even move. It sat there forever. That might be the dead bunny, but
Well, if you have mice problem ever, don't it's not a big issue in Florida, but I've lived in one of the things that you can plant around is like peppermint, spearmint, or those kind of things, and it'll keep mice away from openings.
yeah, I got him in my garage. What's crazy though, is that did you know that it's totally invasive though, like the mints?
Oh
Like
yeah.
I planted it in one flower bed and like all of a sudden like the next year it was in every single one of my flower beds totally took over. I was like, "Oh shit." I
And
didn't realize that was something you got to do in pots.
it crossbreeds so quickly that you're be like, "This is a minty tomato," or
Yeah.
you're like, I had cilantro that turned into like a lemon mint cilantro, like it made its whole own
Well,
herb.
that's what I had a strawberry bed and I had a mint bed and then all of a sudden my mint was in my strawberry bed and it was like, yeah,
But
it
probably
was
a minty
minty strawberries.
strawberry,
It was
that makes me
okay.
wanna
But I
drink.
mean, there's nothing like fresh picked strawberries are so good and yeah, like a strawberry mojito or something.
Minty strawberries with the Hendrix gin, That seems like a perfect drink. I haven't had a drink in years, but it seems like that would be tasty. But the reason I was telling you the mint, and this is my little kid brain, I don't know this. I think mint smells just like catnip. And so I
Yeah, well,
think
because catnip is in the mint family. It is a mint.
yeah, and so I think there's something about the catnip because even I used to have this cat named Shorty, and I would talk to her after I brushed my teeth, and I would always say, and I called her Tortoise, and I would always say, tortoises love peppermint. Tortoises love peppermint. And she loved the smell of it coming out of my mouth. And it took me a little while that I was like, oh, it smells like catnip. Did Layla just eat garlic? What just happened? What just happened? Oh, I want to put it on the big screen so we can take it. You all right?
Garlic. Oof. That was spicy.
It is hot.
Mm-hmm.
Garlic has a heat about it.
Do you
The right
guys?
kind of heat.
I get pickled garlic in the jar.
I've
That
had that.
shit's
It's pretty
good.
good, yeah.
I like that too. The right kind of hot sauce. If you make the perfect hot sauce, I believe you have to take an ingredient from every part of the world. They're hot. That's how it hits every part of your tongue. And so it's like garlic hits a different part of your savory spice compared to like a ghost pepper where it might light up your lips. But then if you want that flavor all the way down, that's where horseradish is such a different kind of heat. Or then vinegar is such a different kind of heat. I love spicy shit.
Me too.
Yeah,
It's
we do.
good.
Sorry, last.
Have you guys ever had pickled okra? I'm just curious. I'd never had it before I moved here, so I don't know if it's like a
Not
oaky
me.
thing or not. It's
Not
so
me.
good.
Yeah.
All hail Zarelath. I'm gonna make a thing so when Zarelath is in chat, it'll be like whew.
Oh yeah.
Once I get this set up, you guys, I don't know where it is, my stream keys and stuff, and I actually stream it not necessarily through these, but go through my OBS, it's gonna get playtime.
What's funny is that because he's asking about do Albanians do garlic like Italians, but my last name was Scottish, and it literally translates to garlic. So
Really?
yeah, so it's a Scottish thing too.
What's your name?
It was Ramsey.
Ramsey.
Can you imagine if you found out that Abby was from the Ramsey family and you were like, "Oh, we cannot speak."
Because we have Ramsey in our thing too. But we say Ramsey. Ramsey.
Wouldn't it be weird if you guys found out you were related like Gordy and I?
Probably. You
Yeah,
two are
no shit.
related?
Well, he has Oklahoma Nash in his lineage, and I have Illinois Nash in my lineage, and it's not too far back. It's probably like two from those that they're the same Nashes.
Huh.
But his are real oaky. Mine were real I think they were Chicago like city, like Illinois, half farmers, half Chicago city.
Huh.
Yeah. So who knows?
Well, technically, we're like, if you want to go with the story of Adam and Eve, we're all cousins.
Cousin, what up, cousin?
Go back far
What up,
enough. We're all
cuz?
cousins, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had a girl in school that I always pretended we were cousins. Like if I
Really?
saw her right now on the street, we would pretend we were cousins still. We just never stopped. Like it started in like the 7th grade. And we weren't ever great friends. We never stayed the night on each other's houses. It was just an inside joke. We decided to run
Yeah.
with some at one point because in our town that we live in, it felt like if you weren't white, you were related to like it was like all the Cubans all knew each other and they called each other cousin, but they really were related. And the black people, they were like, no, that's like they were really related. And so we were just a little jealous that we didn't have that. So we were like, well, she's my cousin and we see each other at family reunions. And so we made up a whole story about how we go to family reunions sometimes and we have a big family, like a Johnson family reunion. And it's just like we pictured their Black family reunion to be, or their Cuban family reunion. We daydreamed about it when we were in the 7th grade. So then this became a reality for us. So then it always was like, what up, cuz? Are you going to be at the family reunion in June? Like, it was this whole fake dream that we wanted a big family reunion. So that was my cousin.
Huh.
Shout out to Deanna.
I had a fake cousin too, but like,
I had a fake cousin too. It would be like
I did.
I know, it's
He
just
was
a funny thing that we do as
he was
kids.
actually like my stepdad's family. Like he's my, we were related by marriage, by marriage, by marriage. Like there's no relation at all, but we called each other cousins. So
Albanians do it all the time. We're like,
See?
like,
White
oh
people
my
were
God,
jealous.
it's
we are.
crazy.
We want
Like,
to
I
be
grew up
related too. Damn it.
Yeah,
with my ex best friend. I mean, we're friends today, but like, we called each other cousins, like, because we grew up together, and like, oh, that's my cousin. That's my cousin. We're related. Were we actually related? Absolutely not. But that's how we do it. Yeah, that's my cousin. That's my cousin. Were you Albanian? Okay, cuz. You're Albanian? Okay, cuz. Uh-huh.
that's my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are we gonna go hang out on the Telegram, you guys?
What's
Yeah.
Telegram?
What are we doing on Telegram?
We're not watching a movie tonight, but
We're hanging out with
there
our
is
Patreon.
a link in the Patreon for us to hang out, and so we'll just sit and do this.
All right.
And then whatever we go into, if anyone has any fun digs, we can drop it in the chat and eventually create a whole archive of whatever it is we're up to. But it will be Indiana Jones starting next week. And then we'll have all those digs in there, and that'll be fun to put all together and do a show
You know what I
eventually.
gotta say? Dun 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 dun.
Do I have to download the Telegram on my computer?
You could probably do it right from your phone unless you want to sit on that mic.
Yeah, I want to sit on this mic. Yeah, it's better.
Oh yeah. Then
Yeah.
I was even gonna see about we might even be able to stream directly into the Telegram from another stream. I've been working
Yeah.
on this, so that might be able to happen
Ooh.
too.
And I can't wait till we actually link with TikTok.
Yes, that'll be very soon as well. We need to spend time on the TikTok Secret Society of Good Guys to get the subscription on TikTok up to 1,000. That's it.
very bad at
Once
that.
it's at 1,000, then we can go live. We just don't have a stream key to TikTok. I know, me
Yeah.
too. I'm scared about posting on it. I get half the shit I say taken down.
Yeah.
So I'm like, ooh, I don't want to touch. I try to stay away from the Secret Society of Good Guys stuff with my bad attitude.
We need to just do like clips of our videos and put it on there. And then
Yeah.
hmm
If anyone's bored and wants to do that and send us like
somebody wanna
however many
manage our
short clips. Yeah, if you guys are bored out there and you're good at video editing or even not good at video editing, but you found a part that was funny or intelligent or entertaining or whatever, or you hated it and it triggered you and you want to put your head over it and say, or just shake your head in agreement and point.
hmm
If you want to do anything like that, you can put it on TikTok and tag Secret Society of Good Guys, and we will put it everywhere. So if you feel like doing that to any of the stuff that we've given you, any of the, you can go to Project Cheney and find it, or here, if you found here and you're new, kudos. And if you're old school and you find us everywhere, we love ride or dies. So yeah.
Hey, remember to hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like, subscribe, licky the likey. And we also, if this were to happen, I can say this aloud. I'm like, am I going to say, yeah, I can do this. If people did clips and did this sort of editing thing and enough people did it, I would totally do a contest and put together a whole bunch of merch. So it wouldn't just be like Project Cheney merch. I'm sure I could get some pretty bomb ass Paranoid American merch, and maybe you guys would have something to throw in on it too. But some Secret Society of Good Guy merch, and we could do a contest and see if anyone can actually put the coolest clip together.
I'll give you personal training sessions. Well, except they won't be IRL.
Well,
I'll
virtual
online coach
personal
you.
training is just as good
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's online coaching.
Yeah. It's going to be called virtual virtual PT, VPT.
There you go.
People like, is that an acronym? No, what's it called where it's letters? All right, you guys. Go. Is it Secret Society of Good Guys on TikTok? The link is somewhere on this channel, I think, to find it if you're looking. Otherwise, it's definitely on Project Cheney channel. You could find it, and they won't let me post over there on anything. They won't let me comment to anyone. I can just write. They won't let me put a link. I can just write at Secret Society of Good Guys. So if you found here and it took you forever and you feel like you were left out, they didn't let me tell anyone. They just took us down, and they're like, "You're not allowed to have this for 7 days." So tomorrow, it might even be in the next few hours. I might get it back. But okay, I'm done. I'm just rambling at this point. Do you guys have anything going on?
I'm gonna go heat up sweet potatoes really quick. So that's it.
Perfect. So give us a
Yeah.
couple of minutes. If you guys want to go into the Telegram room already, we will meet you in there and get the video and stuff on. I'm gonna get mandarin oranges. Layla's gonna go eat more garlic, and Abby's gonna get sweet potatoes. And we love you guys, and we'll see you Friday. Bye-bye. I know. I'm like, okay, I'm so out of sorts today. What do we want to go out on? We'll put a Paranoid American commercial. Okay. Love you guys.
We love Paranoid American.
Okay. Oh, I will tell you guys real quick. On 3:30, on March 30th, Sam Tripoli is coming to Florida to the Joke Joint, and he is going to do a show and sign Chaos Twins with Thomas. And so the Nephilim Death Squad's going to be there, and I'm going to hang out, and who knows what other good guys or other podcast people might show up. But if you are in the Florida area, then you should look into this. You can go to samtripoli.com and get tickets. You can go to the Joke Joint and get tickets, or you can hit up Thomas or Raven Death Squad, Nephilim Death Squad, and you can find a way to get there, or hit me up and I'll let you know. But it should be really fun, and there'll be a live podcast and then a signing, and then afterward there's an 8 p.m. comedy show, but they're two separate things. So shout out to that, and thank you guys, and love you. See you Friday.
Love ya.
Come on, you bring the magic staff, and I'll bring the sin. Nobody knows about the trouble we're in. Come on, let's make some Nephilim.
It's the Nephilim Portal Baby playset. Comes with a fallen angel, Nephilim baby, and portal to another dimension. One of the Paranoid American playsets. Collect them all at paranoidamerican.com.
Save us, Britney Spears! Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
Constantly explore the view of possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, bigger mistakes, entertaining, calming linguists. Good guys. Forum of decorum needs a secretive society to advance on philosophies, intentionally, magically good guys, good guys, good guys, good guys. Witches, weirdos, mischief making. It's okay to change your thinking. Good guys. Good guys, good guys.
Hello, beautiful bunnies. Hi. Okay, of course she's starving for the most attention because she's the youngest. Give me attention, please. Now, Sarah, you're very stuck up. And you're too cool for school, I get it. Jesus Christ, be nice. Girls, be nice. No fighting. Be nice.